we're gonna do some we're gonna watch some YouTube videos that have been submitted by chat. After we watch a couple that I saw in the sidebar, and I'm like, yeah, actually, no, that's my thing. I'm actually very interested in exactly that thing. I had heard about this specific story. I'm also going to be keeping an eye on Discord. But yeah, here, let me pull this up. We got a new video from Charlie. I heard about this, but I didn't hear the whole case. So I want to just like...
I have to talk about this goober, and I apologize because I know so many people are tired of hearing about AI, but I cannot fight this urge. It's like Gollum with the one ring here. The more and more I read about this dweeb, the less and less I can
Okay, so if you don't remember, there was a art show a while back where a guy submitted AI art he did. The giant golden window with like some people on a red background. It'll probably show up here in a minute. He submitted it. It was AI art, and he ended up winning an art competition. He was like, I'm such a cool person. This is not about Shad. We don't talk about Shad. Shad is not worth talking about.
Just speaking about it. An AI artist, and that is a word I'm using very loosey-goosey when referring to the...
That, remember when this picture right here won an art contest? This guy is trying to get a copyright on it, but... as that you didn't make it, the AI did it, you actually don't get to have copyright on it. That is probably the only thing good about generative AI, is the lack of being able to copyright it. Shadman is different than Shadiversary. Two different gentlemen, fucked for two different reasons. One's a weird fundamentalist Christian, and the other one is not, but also a pedophile.
This gentle sir has the chutzpah to attempt to appeal
allegedly
the Copyright Office's
going with
decision
allegedly
to reject copyright protection to his AI-generated art piece. His name is Jason M. Allen. You've probably seen this picture that he AI generated because it won an art competition like 2 years ago, and it was a huge story because AI art had just won an art contest.
Yeah,
so it led to a lot.
yeah, now you remember. So this guy's trying to copyright his image because people are using it without his permission, which is funny.
A lot of hoopla. He is trying to copyright that piece. It was rejected. He's salty, and he's attempting to appeal it. I believe the Copyright Office made the right decision saying, no sir, and just putting the kibosh on that. Copywriting an AI-generated piece is like trying to copyright a fucking wet dream that you had. It's so silly. And Jason M. Allen's attitude about AI art, I think, is just so pretentious and misguided that it is compelling me to talk about this because I just think it's so delusional. He described his creative process with Midjourney as an iterative process where he provides detailed and repeated prompts to generate images. He argues AI is simply another tool like a brush or camera. I would check.
The monkey photo is the one that, so yeah, it's Naruto the monkey took the picture, and because Naruto the monkey is a monkey and not human, non-human things cannot get copyright. You can't claim copyright on something that was made by someone who... Only humans can declare copyright, and you can only declare copyright on things you made. And so the Copyright Office is like, well, you didn't make that, the AI did. Which is like, yes, that's actually what happened. And because AI is not human, it can't copyright shit.
Challenge anyone to prove that it's otherwise. It is a program, it is a machine, it's a device that people can use to technologically make their lives more efficient. Hey pal, you just blow in from Stupid Town? I'll accept that challenge, Jason. A brush or a camera does not create anything for you. You, behind the camera and the brush, still have to make the art. This does it for you. It's not the fucking Disney Channel, Greg, where you'd like hold out the brush and you'd make the Mickey Mouse ears and it just appears before you. You still have to be talented in order to use the tools.
You never said a talking dog couldn't copyright images. For some reason, the United States government actually has ruled on that. Thanks, PETA. Airbud now doesn't get the copyright to itself. Or herself. Air Bud in the movie was a guy, but it was played by a lady dog. Anyway.
Like a brush or camera to create art. When it comes to AI, you don't have to have talent.
Yeah, it's a GameSup's crane as well. Has anyone tasted GameSup's? Does it taste good at least?
All. I've personally generated hundreds of silly AI art pieces over the last couple of years because anybody can do it if you have a keyboard. It doesn't take a galaxy brain gifted human being to do so.
They usually, yeah, showbiz dogs usually are girls because of cocks and cock related reasons.
So, but would you consider me an artist? I certainly hope not. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? Here, let me just showcase the difference between real art and AI art. This is one of the best pieces that the world has ever seen. That's a portrait. Are pushing.
Okay, so like I don't actually give a shit about his take on this. I just want to learn more about the thing. No offense, Charlie. I agree with him. He's saying art is something you have to make. You're not making this. Okay. Suppose it depends on the flavor. I'd have to try Gamer Supps before I'd actually do a sponsorship with them.
Couldn't resist throwing a little pity party and playing a sad song on the world's smallest violin, saying, I have lost a lot of respect for artists, especially those who attack me and continue to attack me. I'm standing in defense of my rights to express myself using AI generative tools and against a popular narrative that a lot of people, for some unknown agenda, are pushing really hard to prevent people from being able to express themselves.
No. Just with the global warming machine, mostly. Cum flavor? It's edible?
I don't know what ghosts you're fighting. I don't know what you're even referring to here. If you're just AI generating art on your own, who cares? No one cares.
I'm sure they already do have cum flavored Gamer Supps.
And the fact that you're entering it into art competitions against real artists. And I know that term has been super muddied, real artist, but I think
Pester emphasized the need for, I mean, the problem with like the whole AI thing is I actually have no idea how you're supposed to solve this. Because it's like, recently, generative AI was used to try and understand proteins, folding proteins. I'm going to screw this up. Recently, a potential cure for diabetes type 1 was found. And this is related to the fact that they figured out how one of the proteins folds from there. And so they were able to put information into okay, I'm sorry. Let me just find a video on this because I'm fucking up explaining it. But they were able to use generative AI in order to figure out, based on where a protein starts and where it ends, how it's supposed to fold based on what it learned from stuff like it was explicitly a generative AI, but I think it was trained after the stuff that was from learning or folding at home in order to figure out the proteins. And the thing is that I think if we're going to burn a whole bunch of electricity, use a whole bunch of water to like do something, figuring out every protein, like how it moves in the human body and what that does is huge. You can figure out so many cures like that because a lot of the human body's fuck ups are XYZ protein does something it's not supposed to or whatever. It's like something fucks up. Like a lot of cancers are just like the body gets confused and keeps making shit. God, a cum-flavored one would be good, but then my parents would know that I have a cum-flavored sports energy drink, and I don't know if that's good. And they can also use it to predict new uses for drugs. Right? Like, there's a whole bunch of uses for it, and I'm not smart enough on any of the things involved to say, you know, whatever. That is such a fucking awesome thing. How much generative AI how much power does it use? So that's the thing. It's weird, and I think it's dependent on the database size. This is definitely not something I understand totally, but I know that they recently built, or I should say, X recently built a giant, or is building a giant supercomputer in, God, it's Massachusetts? Boxtown, Massachusetts? Corporate Untitled Milkshake. Oh my God, come. Fuck, how do I get that? I mean, like, the generative AI is the medical AI. Like, that's the thing, is it's I only really ever have a problem with the generative AI for what it's being used for and stuff. Like, so I keep, the power usage stuff is based on, like, how much, it's like a server, right? Like, you need to be able to get to the information on the server. So, like, if you have a lot of data that it's been trained on, like, the more it learns, the more data it needs, the more hard drive space just for whatever shit it learned. Because it does kind of learn. It's janky when it learns, but it learns. We could watch some videos on machine learning if you'd like, but it kind of learns. They're mostly stupid, actually. Walking, neural network. Walking. This is a really good one. I love this channel, AI Warehouse. This was made a year ago, right? The energy expressive part is the training it. Inference is really cheap using... Right, yeah, that makes sense. Because otherwise, it's just recalling information. It's just essentially a large database of this thing is connected to that thing. Like, I think it uses the same sort of technology that, like, your predictive text on your phone works, right? Yeah, defining what learning means is difficult. We can turn down the music on this, but so in order to get generative AI to do shit, now this is a neural network, so it's different. It's similar kind of technology, but as far as how I guess it's more like you go cat, and it goes, cat? You mean like cups? And you go, no! And it goes, okay, so cats are like fire hydrant? No! Dog? No. Cats are like fuzzy? Yes, okay, so cats are fuzzy? Cat fuzzy. Cat fuzzy. And then every time you ask it about cat later, it goes, cat fuzzy. And that's basically how it works. And then it'll eventually get other shit. It's a really expensive game of hot and cold. Yeah, actually really good explanation of it. So, like, with images, like, do we need that? It's a very expensive, stupid dog you have to train. And because of that, you need a lot of server space to get all the things it learns. Because eventually it's going to learn that cat is not just fuzzy. Cat can come in many different colors and sometimes isn't fuzzy. Like Sphinx, you know? And so it has this huge thing that it knows about, like, cat. Not just the description of it, but, like, any color stuff, just in case if you want to generate an image from it. That's a lot of room just going for the idea of cat, you know? Similar things would be different colors. stuff like that. It's sort of like, so yeah, that's going to need a lot of server space, and you need to keep the processors cooled. You need to do liquid cooling for a giant ass computer that's doing all these calculations, because it's a lot of this question of, is it fuzzy? Is this cat? You know? So that's the power thing. So I guess the power use will eventually fall off to some degree. At least the heat can be used. Well, the problem is it also releases like harmful toxins or some shit. Because you basically need to build your own power plant for something that's like Boxtown, Elon's Memphis. Wrong place. Okay. Elon's new AI center raises alarm over pollution. In July, made a bold prediction that, so he's like, Grok is going to be awesome. And there's going to be a massive new training center in Memphis, which was built in 19 days. And basically no one in Memphis had any fucking idea this was happening. Like, the city government was, the city council is like, wait, what? When the fuck did that get here? How did you get the permit rights for that shit without talking to us? And like, Boxtown, if you're not aware, because I wasn't, is a very African-American town. And the reason for that is because it was called Boxtown because it was originally made out of train cars. And it was like ex-slaves who were all living in a town together because shit wasn't great right after. And, you know, gentrification for a while, and then it just became a thing. So in other words, like, previous racism is now providing an avenue for Elon Musk to do more fucked up shit. So let's see. So in order to power something like this, it needs its own grid, right? It needs its own energy. Grok is an anti-woke competitor to ChatGPT. I think they said it's going to be 4 times bigger than... at the time, X was paying for the technical upgrades to enable them to double their power usage in order for the company to reach the full 150 megawatts. They will need $107 million of improvement to the transmission line. There will be no impact to the reliability or availability to the power of other customers from this electrical load. They're already having problems with the power. XAI's request does not require approvals from the Board of Commission. Yeah. Yeah, I heard about 3 Mile Island being restarted for... And again, like, I'm fine with it like, if we're gonna do this, like, I do think that it's like, can we use generative AI? So I guess the environmental concern would fall off after a while, right? Like, after a while, it stops learning new shit because it's learned everything. Like, it already knows what a cat and a dog and George Washington are. Everything that's important. And so it doesn't need to learn new shit. Or it won't be learning as much. Like, I think a really smart AI that can do some shit is pretty useful. But I don't like it when they do stuff like this. I mean, yeah, people can't be trusted with this technology, but I mean, like, seeing stuff like a mom being able to get a device to help her child learn how to read. Good. Learning how diabetes works so we can stop it. Good. You know? Like, I don't know how the fuck you would figure that out. Like, you can figure that out. There was a way to figure that out with the okay, let me look up this protein zapping thing. Protein generative protein AI salt helps diabetes. Spelled diabetes wrong. Here we go.
The winners of this year's Nobel Prize in Chemistry have been announced, and the award goes to 3 protein pioneers. The American scientist David Baker and his 2 UK-based colleagues, Demis Hassabis and John Jumper, for their research on proteins, the building blocks of life. Let's take a listen into why the Nobel Prize Committee chose these particular winners.
In a dream.
Yeah. Also helping detect and even cure cancer for animals. And like, this is huge. This is Nobel Prize worthy shit. Because a lot, like, all I know about cancer is it is proteins folding wrong. But now, with this, instead of having to zap every single type of protein with this really expensive, hard to use ray, which I don't understand. There's something involving like a laser and then there's a crystal and you shoot the protein and it's at the crystal. I don't know. It's something. That's Pyron disease when they fold wrong. Okay. Bad. But this is protein good?
To learn.
You use a proton reactor. Okay, sure. You have a zappy thing, and you zap it, but that takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, and you don't always get the result immediately. And that sucks dick. And you have to do that for all the proteins that are in the human body. Or
to predict the 3-dimensional structure of proteins from knowing their amino acid sequence, which is encoded in the DNA. For several decades, this was considered impossible. 4 years ago, in 2020, Demis Hassabis and John Jumper managed to crack the code. With skillful use of...
Have you seen a quantum computer? It's actual art. Quantum stuff is so, like, I cannot even begin to... There's smarter people on this earth than me.
They made it possible to predict the complex structure of essentially any known protein in nature. Another dream of scientists has been to build new proteins to learn how to use nature's multi-tool for our own purposes. This is the problem that David Baker solved. He developed computational tools that now enable scientists to design spectacular new proteins with entirely novel shapes and functions, opening endless possibilities for the greatest benefit to humankind.
And for more on this, I'm joined now by Matthew Ward-Aegis from DW Science. Welcome, Matthew. Good to have you here. Tell me, first of all, what do you make of this year's winners of the Nobel Prize for Chemistry?
It's interesting, I think, because we've seen kind of a unified science prize this year. On Monday, we had the prize for physiology. And that was looking at the way that a discovery had explained the way that protein synthesis, the way that proteins are made, is regulated by a particular type of tiny RNA molecule. Yesterday, for physics, was recognising AI and neural networks. Today, we have a chemistry prize which looks and recognises the way that AI and neural networks predicts the way that we can make specific proteins or designer proteins. So in a way, all 3 prizes this year have been shared in terms of the ballpark of science that they're coming from. And in that way, I suppose it is a little bit of a surprise for a competition or an award that you can't really predict.
Tell us a little bit more about the work that these scientists did that obviously has earned them this prize.
So I think we need to start by understanding a protein. It's the building block of everything that we are. Lines of genetic code give the body, or any organism's body, instructions of how to make those proteins. What was originally done, and this is a 2 halves prize, the first half of the prize looks at the way that we can design a protein. Scientists, in terms of the first half of this prize, developed technology that would create a designer protein. that had never been seen in nature before, and then work out the code for that. The other half of the prize is something that has recognised Google's AlphaFold program, which is a recent development in science, which basically goes and predicts, based on code, the way that these proteins will fold into unique shapes. And on that basis, we can make proteins that will perform very specific functions in science and help us move forward as humanity towards addressing therapeutical outcomes, environmental outcomes, predicting how viruses might behave, all sorts of things.
I was going to let me ask you more specifically, because how will this work, their work, make this world a better place? So give me more specific examples.
Yeah, well, let's take the environment, for example, because they'll be talking a lot about the therapeutical benefits as part of this award. But plastic pollution is a major problem in the world, as we know.
Oh, fuck, I didn't even think of this.
Can break down plastic using enzymes, which are a type of protein. Now, if we can design a protein enzyme that specifically fits in, binds with plastic molecules and begins to degrade them into a form of biodecomposition, we would be making a very productive step forward in terms of addressing an environmental problem. That's just one aspect of how this science may be of benefit to humanity.
Whoa.
That sounds like it could be world-changing. DW's Matthew Ward Aegis, thank you so much.
Like, that's why I'm like, no, generative AI isn't bad. It's what we're doing with it. Like, this is fucking so fucking good. No more microplastics. Maybe we solve cancer. Like, how is this not the most hype shit? We could start eating macroplastics. Yeah. This is, like, I doom and gloom a lot. It's because I think a lot. But, like, holy shit. Thank fuck someone's doing this. That's been talked about, and it's going to be a gray goo problem. Okay. Yes, I assume that scientists won't fuck this up. I hope. They probably do it in a lab before they release it worldwide. Yeah. Anyway, he bitches more. I want to see this, and then I want to see what you guys submitted.
It's been about a week since Parkour Civilization just, I guess, decided to become the biggest thing I've ever done. And it has been an absolute roller coaster.
I'm sure.
I really can't even wrap my head around it. But with that being said, I actually wanted to make this video a long time ago because I thought it would be fun. And now I guess is the perfect time to make it since there are so many people that have now seen the movies. So today I'm going to be making a tier list of all the jumps in the first Parkour Civilization movie, and I was kind of undecided on what criteria I would be using to rank them. So let me just hop in a call with CWAT because he's going to help me rank these, and
Rev,
we'll figure out.
You guys don't want more? Okay, fine. No more Parkour Civilization shit. Man, he's kind of sick though. Yeah. Yeah. All right, fine. We'll look at Duck Song.
Bum bum bum, ba-dum ba-dum. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man, "Run in the stand. Hey, bum bum bum. Got any grapes?" The man said, "Really? Another round? You know there's other lemonade stands in town. Why keep bothering me?" The duck said, "You'll see." Then he waddled away, waddle waddle, till the very next day, bum 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 ba-dum. When the duck walked up to the lemonade stand and he said to the man, "Run in the stand. Hey, bum bum bum. Got any grapes?" The man said, "Here we go again. No more, duck. This is the end. Good luck and goodbye." The duck said, "Gotta fly." Then he waddled away, waddle waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle waddle, till the very next day, bum 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 ba-dum. When the duck walked up to the lemonade stand and he said to the man, "Run in the stand. Hey, bum bum bum. Got any grapes?" The man said, "Is it the purpose of your life to annoy me and my soon-to-be wife? Though you did help us meet." The duck said, "I'm kinda sweet." Then he waddled away,
What the
waddle,
fuck?
waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle waddle waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle waddle, till the very next day, bum 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 ba-dum. When the duck walked up to the lemonade stand and he said to the man, "Run in the stand. Hey, bum bum bum. Got any grapes?" The man said, I gave in, I bought you some grapes. They're big and they're fresh and they're in great shape, but now you'll just walk away. The duck said, okay. Then he waddled away. Waddle,
Motherfucker!
waddle. Then he waddled away. Waddle, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled away. Waddle, waddle. Till the very next day, bum 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 ba-dum. When the duck walked up to the lemonade stand, and he said to the man, run in the stand, hey, bum bum bum, got any grapes? The man said, yes, duck, I still do, but if you ask me again, I think I'm through. This lemonade stand, it hasn't earned what I paid. The duck said, hey, got any The man just stopped. He said, hey, that's a thought. Grape lemonade, they'll like that a lot. And banana lemonade, and carrot too. But not pea lemonade, that wouldn't do. But
What?
lemonade, wow, this'll be huge. The duck said, finally, my work here is through. Thanks, duck, my sales will be sky high. The duck said, stay grateful, goodbye. Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled away.
What the fuck is your problem? Weird ass. Okay. Can he beat Minecraft as a Reddit mod? Oh, fuck. I just realized I am a Reddit mod for the Town of Nowhere Discord. Or a subreddit. Okay. This is the user watch. No, here's the RevCord watch along. This has been provided by Shadow Wolf. They've been adding a shit ton of stuff to a playlist for us, and thank you, Shadow Wolf. Shadow Wolf is also happens to be in Florida right now, so keep them in your thoughts. They've been in chat, but they do not have power currently.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Is that a Christian movie? Probably.
Cool sound effects on acid. Hey, how's Magpie? Welcome back. Thank you very much. How you been? I've been good. Great. Now we got that out of the way. This is kind of a comeback video.
I should get a Jolly Roger flag.
Staycation over here. 75% of you voted like what to do comeback. You said meow. There were only 2 options, and the other option was smashing my own face, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, there was the cat keyboard they used to have at the GameStop I worked at, or not the GameStop, but the Barnes and Noble it was attached to.
Anyways, cat keyboard comeback. I guess is sort of the best we can do for meow. But I'm thinking what we can do here is I start a production with this, and then I put down all of the files, and you can finish it, and that can become like a cat album within the Magpie Pirates. So join the Discord.
Oh, okay.
Got that set
He's
right
named
out
his
the
pirate
gate,
group. Gotcha.
Information here. Lost train of thought because I was trying to explain that train of thought. I could do like a reaction.
Sakura did a video about Iwata
maybe
you should watch.
Listening to whatever shit you made, which is probably way better shit than I would ever make. Anyways, cat keyboard has 2 other animal friends in its kingdom, and it's the dog guitar.
Okay.
And the frog ribbity drum kit.
Nice.
So we got the whole band here.
All of the
if
animals.
You're one of the boring people who think this one is awful, you're gonna love these. Because these are way worse. Like, I like to start a song with making drums.
Yeah.
But you can't really do that with this one. So we're gonna use the drums from the cat keyboard to start. And then I'm gonna explain a bit about why this one sucks. And we're gonna Oh. So I'm just gonna jump straight into this because I'm thinking I'm gonna give it like an hour or so, and then I can move on with my life and we can all be really happy together. So obviously the rules for this, which I'm more than happy to break, is that I can only use these 3. Because limitations breed creativity.
Innovations. Okay.
As they say. You're wrong. I say limitations needs creativity. And then I
What?
brush. No, you pat. Pet?
No,
You pat.
Oh, you
I'm
can
sorry
pat
if
yourself on the
I'm,
back or brush
sounded
your shoulder
more
off if you're cool.
loosey-goosey, but I haven't talked with you for a while, so I'm really happy to be here. I hope you're still here and haven't quit.
Why
the
can't
video
I
yet.
have glow in the dark tits? Hold up. With the okay, hold on. You know that thing we were just talking about, the proteins and shit? Could you get the proteins that make, I don't know, whatever glow in the dark animal, like all those fluorescent fish and shit? Could you take that and could you add it to some human fat cells, and then could you implant that under the skin to improve boobage, and then there'd be bioluminescent titty?
If you have, then I can say whatever I want.
I think the bioluminescent meat would die off. The human body can't support that feature. Okay, yeah. We actually do glow in the dark, but it's too faint for the naked eye. So that's like not. Just get a bioluminescent tattoo. Yeah, but what if you want your titties to glow?
About you, because you're no longer here. So let's start. We all know the cat.
I want things to be better for trans people, including but not limited to glowing titties, glowing cocks, glowing bussies.
Keyboard. My one-hit wonder, only success. That's the one I used. That's the one I used. So we're not gonna use that. We're probably not gonna use that one either.
Oh, okay. So they don't have normally aux cables, right? Cat keyboard. Yeah. Okay. So he soldered that onto the board. It looks like. Fair enough. I don't think that would be that hard. You would just. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that's not hard. I think heavily modified. Couldn't you just take where the speaker was and then just have it route into the aux thing instead? Like whatever pulse it's sending to the yeah, that should work just fine.
This one is kind of annoying.
Is that how that works? I mean, that's how I made my my guitar. Hold on. This is what you want? Is it glow in the dark tits? Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Is this what you want? Yes. Yes, it is. I'm tired of acting like it isn't. I'm tired of acting like that's insane. People should have glow in the dark tits. High voltage! There it is. I don't play this one as much. I moved my other acoustic guitar downstairs because I've been playing it some. But this is my other acoustic that I almost got arrested with once. And you'll notice that it's a backpacker, which is a great type of guitar. Let me go ahead and give you guys a big screen region for it. There we are. I'm gonna have to stand up. All right, so this is my backpacker guitar. I don't know if it's in tune or not. Probably not. Nope. It's one of those. Yeah, it's very out of tune. Anyway, you see this thing? So this, the idea with a backpacker is it's small. It's not as loud as a regular guitar, but you can carry it pretty much anywhere. This thing weighs almost nothing. It's a shortened neck. It's only 15 frets as opposed to your normal, like, I don't know, closer to like 20? Anyway, this is the 12th fret mark, and you'll see this double, you see these double dots? That means 12th fret, right? So it's just a shorter neck. If you look at other guitars, you'll notice that their double dot has a few more frets after it. Anyway, at the same time, I've built this thing for just in case if I go somewhere and I need to jam. This thing is just a regular solenoid. The little buzzers that go, right? And that is hooked up directly to a 3.5 jack. This box does nothing. This box is just to make it look pretty and have it where it can stick to it. So when this thing shrinks and grows, you're using it as a contact microphone? Exactly. This is a contact microphone and it goes directly into this. It has no power supply. You have to power it via whatever you're doing. Oh, is this like... I have no idea what that's tuned to. Probably not tuned to anything. Play the role of anyone. Time by for drinking to me. Alright. Excuse you. Bitch. I need to get rid of this carpet. This carpet's not doing it. All right. Anyway. So yeah, we've got a contact microphone that goes into the aux. And so I'm thinking that the speakers are probably just outputting whatever that to the speaker. So if you just like reroute the speakers to the thing, I mean, I haven't done soldering in years. That was the guitar I almost got arrested with. When I was it probably like causing a public nuisance and trespassing? I don't know what they were going to arrest me for. Didn't really change anything. And I just played Breaking the Law by Judas Priest.
Great start. We're not gonna keep that. What
Yeah, where in the fuck is that rhythm?
I'm thinking is that I can save the kick drum and snare. The snare kind of sounds like the kick drum though.
Yeah, kind of does.
That's perfect though, because we can just delete it and use snare from the frog. But I want to separate the hi-hat from the kick drum thingy on different tracks at least. And then maybe quit the cat keyboard, move over to the frog, talk a tiny bit about the frog, and we will,
There's different settings for meows and other sounds, so we don't have to meow.
That just became really confusing. Because I took out the snare sound, and then I made more of a kick drum pattern than it had. However, before we try to play to that, let me show you why this one is awful.
So he's using it as a MIDI controller then. I would love to know exactly how he hacked that. Because he's gone beyond just like what I was talking about. That's actually a MIDI controller then.
4 sounds. Just like you would assume that drum kit
Sure.
has. But they
Bass,
can be
snare,
frog sounds.
tom.
Ribbit.
Shut
So we have rock, which is this one, and then we have world, and electro pop, and urban. So those are the drum kits. But as you can hear, if you press one, it counts in, and then a song starts. And you can play that drum kit. And you can take out the drum track from this song. But then if you stop the song, it's back to the first drum kit. Meaning that you can never play the fun drums except the
Ribbit.
And that sucks, because then you only, like, you can play it by continuously pressing, but you can't like leave it in another drum kit than the first one. And I actually sat through an entire song to see if, okay, if I let it play the entire song and then I go back, and then I play, will it be those sounds? And it was not. Yeah, I guess I can play it like that. That's gonna be really boring to do. Steal my show. Can we let's just jump past this so nobody has to see me do it. Sounds like this now.
Are those multiple doll heads on the shelf behind him?
A lot of delays, action, and a lot of EQ.
Also, I'm very much vibing with his creative space here. It's very cool. I'm going to steal some of the ideas that he's got here because behind me, this is visually boring. But he's got some visual interest going on back there. I need more shelves and shit. Apparently shelves. I have seen the Furby organ. Did this guy make it? I don't know what I put on the shelves, but and then like here, I'm gonna look something up on the sidebar while we're watching this because I'm curious if it exists.
Because nice. But I also have this. So that's just a crash, and it's reversed. If we want to make it big, hard to speculate what to do next. Because it all depends on this one that we're gonna move over now. So the dog has an acoustic guitar in it, and an electric guitar, and a lot of noise. We're gonna get to
Jesus.
that.
What the fuck? I got a TikTok. What was that about an AirTag? I just got some random alert on my phone saying an unidentified AirTag has been... That's not good. Ignore it. Is that a scam? That's probably... Okay.
I think later.
I
You
just
can
didn't
also
get to
play
see
it.
the whole alert. Oh, I hate the guitar. There's a lot of scams that are fine as long as you don't touch them. And I guess that's one of them.
They're all major chords, which is perfect for a happy song. But we can layer those sounds. So we can layer an acoustic track and an electric track. Let's just figure out what to play first. No! Electric is kind of cool. A lot of overtones. Kind of nice, right? However, Little known trick for you here. If it's stinky floater mediocre, what you do is you reverse it. Huh? That's so cool. How do you do that? I don't know. He must be super good music producer. Ah! That's so kinda cool. I really want to add a bass here to just get some depth into it. And none of these has a low range. But I did cheat in the first cat video, so I might as well cheat in the same way in this video. Bit Commander Earthquaker for anyone who wonders.
Oh God. Let's skip forward a bit. This video is very long.
Dragspel. Maybe I should add this. Sparkle. This is when we leave all rules behind and we do what. Meow 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 meow. Ling. Oh my god, what does the wolf mean? Let's see if we can add some dog to it. I don't know what else to do. Maybe I meow, and that one ruffs. Meow, 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 meow.
Okay. Sorry. He's very creative, but holy shit.
I can't stop drinking oil. I can't stop drinking oil. I just can't stop. I can't stop drinking crude oil. You know the black stuff that comes in barrels?
Yeah.
I can't stop drinking it.
Awesome.
I just can't.
Awesome.
It's tantalizing.
Sure.
It's addicting. It is a delicacy. I love it. I can't stop drinking oil, crude oil. I can't stop guzzling it, gulping it down. I can't stop drinking crude oil.
Are they only allowed to be so long or something?
Hey Alex, check out my new haircut. It looks amazing.
Not right now, Derek!
Alex, check out my new shirt. It's very soft to the touch.
No, Derek.
This is
Hey
classic.
Alex, have I told you about my new haircut? It looks amazing.
Not right now, Derek!
Hey Alex, do you want to have a staring contest?
No, Derek. I'm a very busy man.
This was autopilot, wasn't it?
Fine. Hey Alex.
Derek!
Can't we all just get along?
No.
At the Red House Furniture,
We can.
What?
At the Red House.
Oh, Rhett and Link? Oh my god, how old is this? 15 years ago, yeah, back when Rhett and Link. Yeah, okay.
I'm Richard, aka Big Head. I work at the Red House and I'm black. I like pumping iron and pumping furniture into people's homes.
I'm Johnny, aka 10 Gauge. I work at the Red House and I'm white. I like deer hunting, bass fishing, and extending credit to all people.
At the Red House.
I'm black and I love the Red House. I'm white and I love the Red House.
I'm a black woman and I love the Red House.
What? What? Why are you... What does race have to do with furniture? Do you have good furniture or not? Is it affordable? Do you deliver to my area?
I am white, and the red house is for me.
I mean, I noticed you're white.
Red House.
I noticed these things. I just don't bring it up because why the fuck is it relevant? Jesus
Look at
fuck.
the sofa. It's perfect for a black person or a white person.
This mattress is perfect for a white person or a black person.
At the Red House, where black people and white people buy furniture.
What?
And Hispanic people too.
And all people.
Why was it so long? What the fuck was this? I mean, I'm glad they clarified because, yeah, like, what if you were, my mom is black and my dad is white. They locked eyes in the mattress section. If it wasn't for Red House, I would have never been born. Thank you, Red House. The subtle lingering on the handshake until it was ends awkward. Was this a... No, everybody. They said everybody. Explicitly. If it makes anyone happy, Big Head still works at Red House as of 4 years ago. That does make me happy. This is the message we need right now, as of 4 years ago. Oh god, you have no idea, friend. I mean, yeah, I'm... Okay.
The following are real emails from the Disney TV Standards and Practices Department.
Oh, this is good.
Monday, September 9th, 2011, page 31. Please revise poop face as it comes across as a replacement for shit face. Prior use of Mabel saying poop, poop, and butts in the episode Fight Fighters came across as more childlike and not as offensive.
I've never met a human on Earth of any age who would be offended by a cartoon saying the word poop face. Not changing it.
Page 492. It has come to our attention that hoo-ha is a slang term for vagina. Please revise.
It is but it's not relevant.
Word meaning excitement or hullabaloo, and that is clearly its meaning here. The context is an owl-themed restaurant called Hoo-Ha's Jamboree. Not changing it.
Page 14. Please revise. Chub pup on t-shirt. Chub as a sexual connotation.
This is silly. It's an image of a fat dog. From the context, there's no reason to think chub means anything other than that.
We have ran this phrase up the line, and unfortunately, the concern surrounding it still remains. If you'd like to send me some alternate phrases, I can run those and let you know what becomes of it.
Alternate phrases. Chubby pup. Tub pup. Chubbity pup pup. I can't believe I have to do this.
Page 380. Please revise the action of Blubs putting his arm around Durland. As noted in previous concerns, their affectionate relationship should remain comical versus flirtatious.
Fuck you!
They're buddies.
Which characters? They're buddies. Yeah. Blubs and Durland. The cops, right? Yeah. It's the cops from Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls kissing scene broke Disney's coward censors.
Nope.
They're shitty as in being bad. Yeah, I mean, they're bad at being cops. They're very bad at being cops. But it's a good show.
Buddies. Chill
Buddies.
out.
Yeah.
The gesture is approved in this context. Page 50. Please replace G's as the term is considered an abbreviation of Jesus. Page 26. Please revise Holy Christmas as it could be perceived as religiously offensive.
G's actually
Please
is, yeah,
revise
but...
Zeus's line about dressing as a giant teddy bear. It may call to mind the people who dress up as stuffed animals as a furry
Come the fuck on!
Do I even have to respond to this?
Page 11. Please revise Wendy's response, "Aw, crud dang," as crud has an inappropriate slang definition.
Crud? No!
How is this my life?
Page 16. S&P is not okay with saying the word Lucifer. Please revise.
I see no reason to change this. The devil isn't real.
Please revise. S&P is concerned we will get complaints about such mentions of Lucifer, Satan, and or devil.
So what if we get a complaint? The current line, scrimshawed from the tusks of Lucifer himself, is the kind of stuffy, non-political, old-timey purple prose like you'd see in Moby Dick. It's 100% less offensive to any religion than the Mr. Toad's Wild Ride hell scene in Disneyland. Our usage is patently defensible, and you could respond to a complaint like this. Sir or madam, we respect your religion, but this fanciful public domain language is used in a spooky, Halloween-like context and in no way represents a commentary on any belief system whatsoever. Please eat this Mickey-shaped cookie and enjoy this cute, classic, family-friendly Disney cartoon.
Honestly, shut the fuck up, Disney.
Why should we be held hostage to any imaginary knee-jerk career complainer who could conceivably go out of their way to pretend to be offended by this?
We'll review in context. Page 32. The gag with the basketball player.
God, I can't imagine what it's like to work with Disney.
The pet chimp through the basketball hoop will most likely be problematic. We would need to run the scene by our Disney animal consultant for acceptability, especially with any primate included.
Okay. So why did you do that before talking to us? Why would you even send that email? Just go do that thing. Hey, is this going to be okay? No. We asked our animal consult, and they say it's not cool. When is a child going to have access to a monkey they can throw through a basketball hoop? You know?
Also, the monkey's name, Salacious Monk, is also problematic for S&P.
No, it's...
As the salacious term is inappropriate. Please revise.
It's a reference.
This is maybe the dumbest collection of notes I've ever received. Seriously, reread this entire paragraph out loud.
Yes.
Please revise the text on Tambry's flyer. Bottles will be spun. This implies they are
No, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
We don't want to send the wrong message to our audience.
The message is, teenagers like kissing. How on earth is that the wrong message? And it's on a flyer, we don't even show it. You gotta be kidding me.
It's not them having sex. What is wrong with that? Teenagers kiss. Horribly, I might add. Speaking of someone who used to be a teenager, no game. No game. Too much purity shit? Seriously. Like, this is where the censorship really is, with shit like this. Where you can't be, you know, any bit challenged, like, very soft, like...
S&P is still uncomfortable with this flyer, giving the impression...
I am not advertiser friendly because I say shit like shit, and I also say words that I shouldn't. No dancing, no rainbows, no fun.
That it is a make-out party.
What's a make-out party and where can I find one? Fine. We'll remove the line, bottles will be spun. Please replace with new line, not S&P approved.
Please omit not S&P approved on the party flyer.
I don't see what the problem with this is.
Not S&P approved has been approved by S&P.
That's such a great sentence. Okay. I need to go get some water. It wants to run an ad in like 5 minutes. Why don't I go and take this moment to actually go get water? I've seen that one before, but it is just so absolutely insane. And I've seen shit like that Like on contracts, they'll be like, please don't mention XYZ things. And the list of things they don't want you to mention just becomes like insane on some of these. And it's just like, no, I'm absolutely not doing that, you know? Jesus.
Are you winning, son?
No, Dad. We can't win. Can't you see? This non-corporeal dimension is a result of a devil in a playpen. Nothing is real. We can only do what we are designed to do. Face it, Dad. We are lifeless puppets dancing for the sick pleasure of dimensional observers in this void of ignorance. Our hollow souls are bound to be cloned and molded in the hellfires of cyberspace. Downloaded, compressed, shared. Downloaded, compressed, shared. They're watching us now. But I may have found a way out. For even the gods are bound to slip. One day, Father. One day.
All right. Rat massage is going to be very good. I will be right back in 1 minute 30. Be right back. Do. Do, 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 do. All right, and I'm back. Nine seconds until we're back. We are back. Got myself a ginger thing because my stomach's feeling a little weird. And drink some water. Probably because I'm having more caffeine than I've had. Oh, you won't get ads. You're a sub. Or at least you shouldn't be. That's one of the perks of being a sub. Hey, Legend, how you doing? Rats are good. My wife was telling me something yesterday. I think it was New Zealand or Australia that recently banned or made it illegal to adopt just one guinea pig. You have to adopt them in pairs. Because they're social animals and they freak the fuck out and get depressed and it's bad for them. Not something I knew, but I'm like, oh, okay, sure, good. You know, should be the same thing with sugar lighters. I know they're like that. So if it's not already like that, please do that. Ducks need friends too. In Switzerland, it's been illegal to own one guinea pig for a while. Huh. Well, that's good. I don't think it's that hamsters are territorial. I think it's that they... Or no, it's guinea pigs, right? Like, I could see adopting a guinea pig in case if one of your guinea pigs dies to replace the guinea pig that died in order to make sure that one guinea pig has a friend. That could be an occasion to buy a guinea pig. Maybe it's like owning only one guinea pig is illegal. But then, like, you could walk in there, shoot their guinea pig, and be like, you're under arrest. I mean, cops are like that. Sorry, fucked up moment. Do him on a volumetric. Oh, God. That's cool. Runs way better than I expected. That's so fucking cool.
I trust your judgment.
All right, first off, pausing. Sharing. All right, now we continue.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I saw.
Okay, I don't want to see you struggle too much. I want you to succeed, okay?
Thank you.
It's a push saw.
Hey, here, hold on. Try it and try and push it, because it seems hard.
Okay.
All right. Hey.
There you go.
There you go.
You made your first cut.
Made the first cut.
It's not terribly even. You may hammer.
I know what I'm doing. You know, I love hammering, and I'm super good at it. But what if you just showed me? What if you showed me your hammering skill?
You don't know how to hammer?
Why? Cool.
Okay. Well.
Really?
Yeah? Oh, no. Oh, my God.
I feel like Usopp is... okay, he may not be good with boards and stuff, but he's an inventor, right? Usopp slander? Ethan is a gymnast, not a carpenter. I will, however, be sending this to my wife because I love her, and I think that she would like this because she likes One Piece. Here we go. He's handy.
If you get a bent nail, it's best just get a new nail.
No,
yep. You okay?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Boku wa Doctor? Oh, this stupid commercial. This is on the, wasn't this on the autopilot as well?
New Mercedes. GLA.
What? What? Oh, right. I forgot about the Mercedes-Benz. It was so awkward, man.
Go. GLA.
Nobody uses that card because it's cringe? Yeah. Can I challenge Nintendo to do something? And this is going to be a hell of a fucking challenge. I want you to make a Mario game. You like that. But I want you to make a Mario game without making a reference to 8-bit Mario. Or any of the stuff from the 8-bit Mario. You know? Just like... It didn't really establish any lore. You don't need to reference it directly with the little... I'm tired of seeing that Easter egg. Shut the fuck up. Do something new rather than just trying to nostalgia bait me.
Go. GLA.
Why is Peach's dress that short?
How's it going, dudes? Welcome to the
Rap Rat! Holy shit, I just watched a creepypasta about Rap Rat. Rap Rat from, there was a creepypasta that Mr. Creepypasta read called Rap Rat about the original version of Rap Rat being cursed.
first of the worst board game of all time Tournament Challengers series. As games continue to try out for the Weeb Goat Tournament 2, we at the NBGA thought it to be a good idea to highlight some of the favorites to make it in so that you can get to know them better. The TC series will work to refresh your memory on especially awful games, coming out alongside the standard upload schedule and following this structure. First, I'll show any segments where I've covered the game before, so that you can get to know them. Next,
whatever.
Our final game of the night is so baffling, so confounding, so mind-bendingly nonsensical that those of you with weak constitutions may want to leave the video. Ladies,
I actually wanted to look up this game to see if it was real. I remember there was a thing for a while in the 90s. And the idea with them is that you would either use a DVD or a VHS and you would go to certain parts of it, or you'd hit pause and play at different times depending on what was happening in the game. I never played it. It always seemed very hokey. They were always for sale at half price. Probably because they suck.
And gentlemen, I present to you the Rap Rat.
Y'all ready?
He's in a shopping center now, showing you how. Having fun is the aim. Hey, Rap Rat's the name, the video board game.
Rap Rat!
For kids who just want to have fun, so turn on your set, slide in the cassette and play.
Rap Rat!
It's VHS, it's A-OK, it's kids' entertainment that's here to stay. The video board game.
Rap Rat!
So get mellow, get yellow, get the video board game, Rap Rat. He ain't no ghost, he's the most. The video board game.
Why would I think he's a ghost? What?
Rap Rat.
I mean, it's over. It's all downhill from here. So, we've got a lot to unpack and a lot of questions to answer. First question, what am I looking at here? This is the video board game Rap Rat, the 1992 game that sees you try to collect the pieces for and assemble your cheese jigsaw puzzle before you run out of time. The game itself is extremely simple. Just roll the die, and if you roll the right color, you collect one of your pieces to add to your puzzle. That's
right. The VHS ones, they're always the same. The DVD ones are randomized. I think someone ported one of these onto that board game. Library. Let's see, tabletop sim. Community hub. Workshop. Rap Rat. Oh! Oh my god, yes! Let's fucking go!
That's it. If that was the whole game, we'd be done. We'd be fine. But the game comes with a VHS tape. And on that tape is the real meat of the game, as that is
I need to get people together for it.
Lives. The Rap Rat.
I'm the rat with Raz and all that pizzazz. I'm plastic and fantastic.
Okay, so like we can play that and Super Go Fish.
I'm your very own rat. Yeah! Rat.
This cryptid is the host of the show and our game master, determining the flow of the game and acting as the timer. See, Rap Rat here lives in a wall of cheese, and if you are unable to finish your puzzle by the time he eats all the cheese on screen, you lose the game. That is, if you ever get to the actual game, because after a minute-long intro of whatever this...
I'm not going to be able to convince anyone to play Journey to Africa.
This is...
There are gnomes in your garden, and they
Crypt
play
Keeper.
slides on pink electric guitars. Ha! And cats can talk. They just don't want to.
RapRat
What?
comes onto the screen and just spouts nonsense for nearly 4 straight minutes.
I might be able to convince Fred to... to do that. I still can't believe there's a creepypasta for this board game. So yeah, the creepypasta, spoilers, is that the original doll that was used in the video was made in a factory in, like, I don't know, somewhere. And it burned down, and everyone who was in the building died, and then they cursed it, and with the spirit of a demon named Apara or something like that, which is like an anagram of RapRat.
Oh, yeah.
Atmosphere is the VHS one. Yeah, and this is made by the same people.
Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think I heard your song. So let's do it once more, and I'll give you a score. Everybody smile, please, and say cheese. Cheese. Oh, yeah. Right.
After our gracious host has finished introductions, we can begin the game. RapRat informs
Why
us
does he do that? That was a very 90s, like, editing thing. When did RapRat come out? Because it feels like it's missed the mark. RapRat board game. 1992, there you are.
that the oldest player will go first in game 1. At least that's what you're supposed to gauge from whatever this demon is saying here.
Now hands up the oldest, cause you are the boldest. What's your name?
Finally, we start the game. Roll the die and then pass it on to the next player and try to collect and assemble your puzzle as the time runs down. As the cheese is eaten, RapRat will occasionally butt in to interrupt the game. And based on whoever had the die when he appeared on screen, he will bestow a penalty to that player. These penalties are all over the place. They can be simple stuff like missing a turn or returning a puzzle piece, but then this vermin will sometimes freestyle on this crap and get creative with his punishments. Stop playing and act like a chicken for 20
Fuck you!
seconds. Stop playing and put your hands on your head for a full minute, which is 10% of the entire game. Miss an amount of turns equal to your age, or return every...
Wait, what? Miss a number of turns equal to your age. Jesus, fuck you.
Every single piece of your puzzle. This last one is especially
They're the same thing once you get over a certain
because
age.
It happens with 30 seconds left in the round. You just lose. He just says you lose. Why can he do this?
If he asks you to do something, you must do it, because he's RapRat, and he's the boss.
After you lose, this cretin comes out and gloats for a straight minute before letting you know that you can either stop the tape now or proceed to the next game. In the
Hey, Pancake, welcome by. Thank you for the 67 months of support. 93.
Just press stop and rewind. And I'm on my way and we'll find time to play another day. But if you want another lashing of rap bashing, ooh, that's smashing, cause I'm gate crashing that Audi rap party. I'll just count to 5, but if I'm still around and alive, it will be time to jive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is game 3.
And that is the video board game RapRat. At least the board game portion. See, our main villain of this experience has garnered quite the online reputation, featuring his own villain wiki page, and for good reason. See, the RapRat has run into some online controversy due to an expose creepypasta that highlighted that the darn thing is haunted by the entity Aparat, which is the real name of the RapRat. Which...
That was a big hello. Now it's welcome to my show. So at ease, please, and smile, and everybody say cheese.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. This game is absolutely abysmal. All you do in the game is roll a single die over and over, puzzle pieces come at random and dreadfully slow, and the entire time you are being harassed by a sociopathic rhyming rodent whose occupations are listed as video board game host and demon. Now that we're acquainted with this stellar title, what do others have to say about The Rat with Raz? Those opposed to the rat say that the creature in the game is an absolute menace that can be legitimately terrifying to younger players.
I'm sure.
The penalties he puts out are also horribly unbalanced, with the skip in amount of turns equal to your age drawing particular ire from players. Finally, the game itself is all luck. Since all you do is roll the dice and see if you got the right space, you don't really do
kids' games are usually like
unless
that.
The rat makes you act like a chicken, which could get very annoying. But fans of the game sing a different tune, saying that the game's ease of play makes it a great kids game.
Yeah, that's unfortunately true.
The stress of the timer and the rat's nonsense keep a frantic pace, preventing it from getting boring. The different games with various difficulties add to the game's replayability as well, keeping repeat plays from getting stale. And it looks like this will be the first game to show off a brand new measurement for this tournament. X Factors. X Factors are parts of a game that are especially egregious, to the point where there is nothing like them in any other competitor. Our experts have identified the video board game Rap Rat's X Factor as, of course, the Rap Rat.
Yeah.
From the committee,
of course,
the Rap Rat might be the single strangest board game component ever put to market. Everything about its design, from the Max Headroom style movement to the fact that it barely even raps to the added haunted nature of the game stemming from the rat, just carries a sense of dread, unease, and annoyance. No other projected competitor has anything even remotely similar to this vermin in it.
What is this guitar solo and what
future matchups? So now that we've gotten a good look at
I
the
like
game,
that box
let's send
art,
it over
though.
to our seating expert, Joshua
I don't think you
Jacobs,
should have
to
made
see
this
where
for
he
children
believes
because
the
it was
game will end
fucking
up in the
heinous,
tournament.
but
Glad to be back, Cam, and I cannot wait to see what the Rap Rat has in store for us. This has been one of the most hyped up games for a deep run, and that is for good reason. It is unique, it is striking, and most importantly of all, it is absolutely terrible. Most people get distracted by the rat, and I don't blame them, but don't forget that the actual gameplay is basically just Candyland with
Oh, I see. So every time you land on one of these, you get a piece. So if you just roll fast enough, the only winning this game turns into hot potato with like... Yeah, this game is hot potato. There's a dice involved, but it's hot potato. You want to not be touching the dice when it's time to go.
And harassment. Not to mention that this would be one of the most terrifying kids games I've ever seen, even if it wasn't haunted by an actual demon. With all of these elements in the game's favor, I am projecting a solid number 1 to number 2 seed and a very deep run for the video board game Rap Rat.
I think that has got a good...
Very high expectations from Josh there, and I'm sure we're all excited to watch this beast in action. Remember that projections are not final, and new games are being submitted every day. So the only way to know which games make it in for sure is if their name is called during the official selection show. So send in those games you would like to see have a shot at the title, and stay tuned as we get closer to finding the worst board game of all time. Signing off for the NBGA, I am Cam Sandwich. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day.
Is it the worst possible game? I have not played it. I am tempted to say no. And the reason is I think, actually played worse games than it. This game is boring, tedious, and random, but easy to learn. So, like, you kind of understand almost from the get-go that this sucks. So, like, I don't think you really walk into Rap Rat expecting anything more than what you get. I think a worse game would be something very similar, but more complex. Basically, like, overly complex and unnecessarily cruel is what I'm looking for. He's covered a game called Oy Vey. Oh, no. Game Monopoly. Okay. Oh my god, it's 2 hours long. What the fuck?
When these battles boil down to emotions, that is always an entertaining sight to see. So I'm hoping these two can overcome the odds and bring...
Rock, paper, scissors versus what do you meme? Is that what's happened? Adultery. Okay, so they said it was adultery. Spoilers. What is adultery? Oh my god, the official Donald Trump game. I've seen that in public. Okay, I kind of want to see Oy vey. I actually liked Cheaters Monopoly. Cheaters Monopoly was good because it was just ignore what the fucking game is and just try and fuck with your friends. Like, it makes Monopoly a social deduction game. Adultery is about committing actual adultery? Fuck off. That cannot be real. Did you see the Fatal was pulled? See, Fatal is like absurdly complex and not worth the time to learn. I mean, yeah, just be poly. If capital punishment? No. Okay.
How's it going, dudes? The board game world is
I do like me some video game or board game shit.
So in order to get your game to stand out, you'll want to give
I got
it an
it. No worries.
theme that will bring in those customers.
We will watch Oy vey.
Or if you're out of ideas, just default.
Capital Punishment is actually apparently a good game.
Gives a game life. It's what transforms it from a bland board with pieces into a mystical journey through a living nightmare. The theme of a game.
I wonder if Rock,
play
Paper,
and
Scissors
define
isn't actually
whether it
Rock,
would
Paper,
be a
Scissors,
success or
but
not. For example,
I've seen what you meme.
Coup would have been as big of a hit if it was based around homeowners association. This importance makes seeing a game with genuinely awful theming even more special, because you know a ton of corporate time and money went into the decision of dog taking a crap. Doggy Doo, also known as Cackle Dackle to the Germans, is a game that sees players compete to be the first to collect 3 doos on their shovel to win. To play this masterpiece, you must first feed the dog, which will then let you roll the dice to pump the leash and hope that one of your pumps drops the poo onto your shovel. I recall seeing tons of commercials for this product and thinking, that's really weird. Apparently that line of thinking was wrong because the general public went, oh, poop dog, and just tossed money at this thing. Fecal Fido sold like crazy, bringing in enough doggy dough to warrant not only an improved re-release, but a spin-off Corgi edition. Thank goodness, this guy was really starting to weird me out.
What the fuck?
No, not a sponsorship, it's our next game. Advertising. Don't you just love ads? When you tune into a show, you really just want to see the ads, right? Well, now you can play a whole board game based around ads. Advertising is the 1988 trivia game where you try to match advertising slogans and jingles to their products to be the first to advance to the top of the corporate ladder. A board game centered around seeing what advertising campaigns worked on you sounds like a treat, but don't forget this baby hits you.
Funnier now that it's old and a lot of these slogans are just not around anymore. Every game the Doggy Doo company put out was some kind of fetish, and I'm not even kidding. I don't like that.
With the twofer. The game itself is an advertisement for these brands, as you are trying to remember what slogans go with each product, and with 2,100 different slogans and
the coppery battery
different products
or the copper top battery.
I think this might be the most tightly packed marketing ploy I've ever seen.
Yeah,
but
this
marketing
sucks.
ploys dressed up like trivia games are all over the place. Let's take a look instead at one of the worst attempts at those, coming from your friendly media giant, the NBC TV news game. This 1962 release sees players move tokens around the board to answer questions about topics like national capitals or current events, all while under the watchful gaze of famed NBC news anchor Chet Huntley. What could be more exciting than that? Leprosy? Flop your massive copy of the NBC TV news game on the table at game night and watch in awe as you get a resounding, huh? from your friends. Not only would this be the single most
I mean, it just sounds like Trivial Pursuit. The guitar tabs. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's right. I'm sure. It's the whole, yeah, they used to make that. They used to make guitar tablet books. I think they still do, man.
Experience I could
and
think
any
of from the
popular band
genre.
got them.
This game is also
Again,
going to
think
be
that's still a thing or still a thing. I know Metallica gets
How
them.
many of your friends are going to
Like
remember
official
the
tab books.
newsworthy current events of 1960?
I think my brother actually owned that book. I'm like 90% positive that my brother owned that book. It had no, he had the one with the their first album with the red cap.
Coco the Clown? On the TV? Who could forget? At the very least, you do have questions that relate to nations' capitals, so those are going to be relevant for new players. You know, if those countries...
There's multiple channels that review tab books and make fun of the mistakes. Yeah. I've never seen anything like this for anything. I mean, like, tablature books are fairly common. Tab books for guitar. Literally just pick any band. Best of George Lynch. Who's that? I don't know. Green Day tab book. This is one of the most important books of jazz bullshittery. I have it. I barely understand it. Yeah, you got Appetite for Destruction, Van Halen. And these are like official, you know, like theoretically. And like you can, you know, learn how to play those songs. I always assumed that they were made correctly. But finding out that some of them are wrong is hilarious. That makes it like vaguely equivalent to, why does that look AI? Probably is. When did this come out? I bet you that's some AI shit right there. Shop with confidence? How about you shut up? Yeah. Yeah, it's 100% AI. Ooh, those hands. And those strings. And we all love a guitar with 4 nuts. Yeah. And that's an interesting hand position. The old whatever chord position that's supposed to be. It's even more confusing because most of the fingers are like on the same string as each other. Like 3 of the fingers look like they're probably on the same string, which means that only the ring finger actually is achieving anything. 6 fingers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes, you're right. And then there's like, and listen, I don't know how you're doing your picking hand, but I wouldn't recommend that hold. And he's got a second hole in his strap. Yeah, fucking AI art. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of them. I'm not surprised.
Exist and all. This can be a big aspect to a game's theming, how well that theme can age. The most popular games are timeless. Their themes can be understood no matter what year they were played in. But if your game's theme is built around a specific aspect of your time period, it could end up being aged out, which will have a negative impact on future players' ability to enjoy the game. This is the problem that plagues Power Lunch, the 1994 game that sees players attempting to sit groups of celebrities at lunch tables and come up with wacky scenarios as to why those people are sitting together in order to score points. This may have been a great theme to start, but the game runs into a slight issue nowadays as these are specifically celebrities from 1994. And while some of the people have managed to find ways to keep themselves relevant, there is
I thought that was Trump there.
Chunk of the roster that are just flat out nobodies to the common man. Most of your rounds are probably going to look like, now hold on, what are Ted Koppel, Oliver North, and Helmut Kohl doing having lunch together? Well, isn't it obvious? Irrelevancy is not the only way a game can be aged out, though.
Yeah, this is Nightmare Blunt Rotation, the game. I don't know who any of those people are.
Things that were seen as the standard in the past might be looked back on negatively by people of the future. That's right, no more ticky-tack, that wasn't the best idea themes. I know what you're here for, let's get controversial. Travel back with me to 1966 to play a fantastic little title known as What Shall I Be? The exciting game of career girls. This game sees players compete to be the first to become a career girl by collecting the right school, subject, and personality cards to land their dream job. And the jobs on display here are only the most premier in female employment opportunities, like teacher, nurse, actress, ballet dancer, model, and airline hostess. Well, there's all the girl jobs. Go on, take your pick. These obviously didn't age well, but never fear. I'm here to make everything worse. Each job comes with its own school that you will need to go to in order to qualify for it. But they couldn't exactly figure out what people do in order to become models, so F it, send them to the charm school, I guess. In addition to that, you are going to need to have the right personality for your job. But you can not only get positive personality traits like being pretty, strong, or emotional, you can also get negative personality traits like being a slow thinker, clumsy, or overweight. Not a
Jesus fuck! Oh, there's an ad, sorry, I need to wait. I'm gonna back it up some because I think people missed a bit. Overweight is a personality type, apparently. I don't know how you fix this. Wife liked the video. Thank you, whoever put the One Piece video in there. Yeah. You could maybe fix this game by changing the jobs to be, you know, like you keep actor or actress probably, because that's actually a pretty cool job. We throw in some new stuff like YouTuber, scientist, astronaut. Theoretically, you could salvage this if you just stop acting like it's the 1960s about it. Which, I mean, we still have problems with because people are like, I don't think women should be president. So, I mean, you can be anything you want. That's what you tell everyone, especially little girls who are like, when you grow up, you can be anything you want, except for president. Don't you fucking start. You're an emotional little bitch and you won't be able to handle it. It's a good message to send children.
In addition to that, you are going to need to have the right personality for your job.
Good message. Good message.
Not only get positive personality traits like being pretty, strong, or emotional, you can also get negative personality traits like being a slow thinker.
I don't feel like being emotional. That's a weird thing.
Clumsy or overweight. Not a single portion of this thing aged well, which honestly makes it really fun.
Airline hostess did not age well.
What separates this game is that all of its controversy was unintentional. Our remaining games not only knew that they would bring in that controversy, they were probably counting on it to sell. I'm going to read the front of our next game's box word for word and let you guys try to figure out why it's here. Ready? The game where you become a Jewish mother. Get your son.
Okay, yeah.
Sons to become doctors. Get your daughters married to doctors. If not, oy vey. I'm surprised this one didn't take off. What am I looking at here? Look at the box! Look at the board! What do you want me to say? Oh, ages 12 and up, a perfect gift for the kids. I'd honestly love to go more in-depth about the game, but there is surprisingly little information online about a 1979 board game called Oy Vey. So what I'm looking at here is pretty much all I have to offer until I can acquire a copy for myself. Even though I don't have as much as I'd like to on Oy Vey, I can offer up plenty of information regarding a certain company we've run into here before. Ladies and gentlemen, Hammerhead Enterprises. Longtime fans of the channel are well acquainted with Hammerhead, as these are the goobers behind everybody's favorite board game brothers, Public Assistance and Capital Punishment. Both of our brothers here carry some great themes to break out at Family Game Night, with Public Assistance being the anti-welfare game made to protest the Carter administration's welfare policies, and Capital Punishment being a pro-death penalty game where the aim is to get all of your criminals sent
Bring your liberals out of their ivory tower. Use them to spring your opponent's criminals from the path of justice and send them back. Oh, okay. So you want to make sure you use the liberals to make sure you get your opponents. Listen, we've done the death penalty thing for a while, and can we talk about the death penalty thing? Like, is it effective? Because it seems like we probably have enough data on that it's not. Like, people still murder people a lot.
To death row. Drop these babies off at the family Christmas and sit back and watch the fireworks. Since I've
So,
covered
like,
both
you know, ignoring the morality of it because it's fucking stupid. It doesn't work. There are people who don't care about that shit. Like, yeah, most, like, people who are like, let me run around and, you know, I don't know, shoot up a school or something. They don't care if they live. They want to go down being a villain. They want to have that name spread everywhere. You know, John Smith, the guy who killed 30 children, you know? They killed him, but his name was John Smith. And everyone remembers John Smith, the murderer, you know? That's why people do it, for the clout. I mean, yeah, the death penalty is mostly for, if you go, there's a reason to have a death penalty, you can have people be killed.
Games before, I'll keep this segment brief and focus on the main difference between the two. That
Either
being
way.
that Capital Punishment is actually a really good game with a controversial theme holding it back, and its older brother, Public Assistance, is just abysmal. Capital Punishment's gameplay is an excellent combination of risk-reward decisions that will test a player's resolve as they attempt to move throughout the board without getting caught, while Public Assistance is an unbalanced mess that relies on luck for the entire experience. Neither of them lasted long in the retail space before being removed from stores for being too controversial.
Yeah.
No idea where they got that from. As these games both relied on the shock of their themes to drive their message home, they come with some pretty funny nonsense due to the
working person's burden. You are up for a high-paying promotion, but government affirmative action rule requires that a disadvantaged minority, homosexual, Buddhist female be promoted over you. Lose $500. Wow, the memes have not changed since 1980. Holy shit, that could have been written today. Or excuse me, this would be a DEI hire. This is literally just a DEI. Yeah. One goddamn joke, and they've been running it for longer than I've been alive. Props to having minority homosexuals in your game, though. Based. When a player has only one innocent civilian remaining, he may sacrifice a liberal as a victim instead. This tactic may rid him of one or both of his defensive pieces, but this may afford him the opportunity to win offensively. I see. So if you would rather... I mean, honestly, the mechanics of that game sound okay. It just sounds like you would have to not make it shit. The theming is really bad, but like as far as the mechanics go, like you give up defense in order to gain more attack or vice versa. That's classic good game design stuff, you know?
the extreme nature of the situations they present. At the same time, both games also complain really disturbing portions that are guaranteed to ruin the fun of the night as well, so you take the ebbs with the flows. One frame trick again, go! I've kept the hammer...
Oh. Is this to not have to deal with YouTube doing shit? Working person's burden. Your brother is killed by a rehabilitated murderer. Lose 1 turn for mourning. Maneuver your murder or whatever along the... Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay.
I've kept the Hammerhead section brief since both of those games have gotten their time in the spotlight, and since then I've uncovered more whack crap games with even more whack crap theming that I hope might stand up to our delinquent duo. Let's get a little more recent by jumping up to 2005. Ha, that was 19 years ago. And a little card game with a...
That was 19 years ago. Thank God. I was like, please don't be longer than that. I didn't want to do the math, so I was just like, I'm just going to add whatever number of years that this video has been out, but it's only been 4 months.
A subtle title known as Pimp the Backhanding. Pimp the Backhanding.
I saw the Juggalo game in person, and I really should have bought it, but it was like $200, and I'm not a Juggalo. But it would have been very funny.
Is a standalone card game where players, quote, mack some hoes and put them to work as you attempt to make the most money over 3 rounds. This is done over 3 phases in each round, which I will now try to explain without using any language that could trigger the age censors. Phase 1, the macking phase. Use your employers to attempt to recruit freelancers to your turf. There are only so many potential employees available though, so you'll have to out-recruit your opponents. If you fail this stage though, you can still get back at them in Phase 2, the backhanding phase. You can now hamper your opponent's completely legitimate business by hampering your opponent's businesswomen. Any laborers that have been dissuaded are unable to make money, so you can't.
This fight scene's cool as shit. I mean, it's definitely staged, but it's cool.
Actions have been carried out. The final phase begins. Phase 3, the money laundering phase. Your workforce is now free to carry out the operation, and you can now count the money you made and add it to your score before starting the next round. All throughout the game, you are able to use modifiers or dirty trick cards to affect your score.
Why'd you draw this? You are learning, young asshopper. For the backhanding phase, any rival pimp holding a hoe, that pimp must backhand his own hoe using no modifiers. If she wins, she leaves. If he wins, the hoe stays, but can still be backhanded. Yeah.
Adding more to the game's strategy element. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is quite the specimen, as it was definitely designed to trigger a negative response from audience.
Some people may find the themes and characterizations of this game disturbing or offensive. They're correct. If you don't find it offensive, we'll try and get you in the expansion, so don't feel left out. Edgy.
This is based on this statement included with the rules, but at the same time, it is very easy to tell that a lot of effort and care went into the development of the rules, art direction, and game balance, which makes 2 deep standalone card games wrapped in controversy for depicting women as sex objects released in 2005. How? This is Winch, the drinking man's thinking game, also known as a nightmare for me to censor all these pictures so I don't get my channel assassinated. The Winch deck comes with 52 cards depicting women in various provocative poses and states of undress, and functions in 2 ways, for regular card play and for playing Winch itself. See, each of the Winch cards comes with traditional poker symbols, meaning that these cards can easily be used as a proper deck for any traditional card game whenever the need would arise. Hey, I'm hankering for some Hold'em. Anybody got any cards? No! The real meat from these cards comes in the form of the game of Winch itself, which functions as a more complex form of Uno where players compete to get rid of all their cards first. The gold and blue cards each have different functions, and
when you put your thumb on the table, give a card to the last player to put their thumb on the... Oh, that's an interesting mechanic. Cheerleader, if a player gives a card away, you say hooray and their name, and if they don't, and they say, and don't say thank you, give them a card. Okay, I mean, mechanically it seems interesting. The misogyny and stuff is okay.
That will either assist in getting
rid
of
of
your cards, aid in adding cards to your opponent's hands, or establishing penalties in an attempt to trip up the other players. A major part of Winch is these passive penalties established by the cards. as the more rules that are added and subtracted by the cards, the more difficult the game is to keep track of. Whoever has the most points at the end of the games loses and is declared the winch of the evening, and must pay whatever punishment was agreed upon at the beginning of the sessions, which could be anything. Do 50 push-ups, pay for pizza for everyone, power wash the deck, commit an international incident, whatever the group is feeling at the time.
I see.
Obviously, the main selling point for the game is the classy artwork, which was put together by some guy named Monty Michael Moore, who has also done work for a couple small enterprises like Magic the Gathering, DC Comics, and Lucasfilm, which obviously going to the top of that resume. Okay, we're running in circles here.
Whoa, what? What art did he do? You can't just say that this guy did art for Winch. I mean, listen, you probably have to do the porn game first. I mean, like, from looking at it, it's kind of objectifying women in the porn way. So I think that it should be treated like basically just porn. Like it. Monty Michael Moore. Monty, I mean, that's probably not Michael Michelle. What the fuck? Holy shit, I had this card. Oh my, what the fuck? Monty Michael Moore. I owned this card. Holy shit. Wow. Oh, and he did that one as well? Okay, I had that one, I had that one, I had that one. I don't think I had the rest of these. I might have had Saber-Tooth Tiger at one point. This was during like Onslaught and 7th, and I started to write around Onslaught. I think my first deck was a Red Goblin Onslaught deck. I'm pretty sure that's... Was there one for that? Red Goblin Onslaught deck. Is that a thing? Like, it was a pre-made deck. Oh, yeah, it had Goblin Sledder in it. I remember that. God, that is fucking wild. To know that that guy was doing porn before. I mean, like, that's... I mean, honestly, a lot of artists have to do porn before anything else. Before they can actually make it big. That is just wild to me, though.
Enterprises like Magic the Gathering, DC Comics, and Lucasfilm, which obviously going to the top of that resume.
He's actually incredibly talented.
Besides a few stragglers, we've only been able to look at good games with bad themes, but I want straight garbage all throughout. I want a series of games that is not only baffling for how bad the theming is, but equally as confounding when you look at how it's meant to be played. Luckily for you, I have just the company we're looking for, with a small company that specialized in goober activities throughout all of their games, Diplomat Sales Co. I can't find anything on these guys. No year they formed, no year they went out of business, no company records. They sort of just materialized without warning one day. The only things left behind by Diplomat were the 3 games that populated their library, and I think there is no better place to start than by covering their most iconic title first. Diplomat's very first release was a title that many a fan of this channel are already well aware of, the 1969 classic Adultery. Yes, the same game that ravaged the worst of all time tournament is not an only child, having 2 secret younger siblings that follow in their brother's
would love to know what this is.
But before we get to those, let's take a deeper look into the original title and see what made it so special.
Yeah.
Adultery is a party game meant for groups where the object of the game is to spend a good time with 2 different players of the opposite sex. The game takes place over 2 phases. In the first phase, players will each spin the spinner, and where the spinner lands will determine what...
Oh. Okay. 5 minutes, 2-hour lunch.
Time token they will get. Each player spins 3 times, collects their tokens, and then places their names into their respective gender's hat. That is when the completely neutral third-party referee...
Okay, so first off, that's weird as shit. Because there's one guy who just gets cucked during this entire time. Like, the referee has to be cucked. He's not allowed to play. That means he's the only one not getting laid.
Who was apparently here the whole time, starts the second phase. The ref will take one name from the male player's hat and one name from the female player's hat. And those two are now tasked to go to a designated private part of the house where they will now participate in actual real-world adultery until their combined time is over. Mind you, while the actual real-world adultery is occurring in the other room, there is literally nothing for the other players to do. They have to just sit around like, so, come here often? So, now that you know how to play, don't. This is the single best...
Okay, so you could, I feel like this game could be worse. There's a time and a place to play adultery, and it's at swinging parties. That's not something I do, but I feel like you could probably just have one of the people shuffle the thing. I mean, yeah, if everyone consents, it's not that bad, and it's... I mean, like, throw this into the polycule. This could be okay. I'm not gonna play it, but it could be okay. You know? There is definitely a community that could enjoy this. Not me.
Example you can provide for a game that was made for nobody. The general public is not going to want to play this game due
swingers and polyamorous people.
As the game's main draw. No thanks, I'm more of a wire fraud guy. So that leaves this game up to people of the swinger variety.
Yeah.
Except no, it really doesn't. Now granted, I've never been to one of these get-togethers, but I can't imagine that a series of rules and timers being strictly enforced by a neutral third party while all but 2 participants are forced to refrain from...
I mean, it does sound like it would be a little bit awkward if, I mean, are the people taken out of the queue? Or do their names get re-added to the hat? Because, like, could you just, like, divvy up everyone's, like, timing, and then just, like, everyone sets their own timer on when they're supposed to stop having sex? Has anyone ever actually played this game? And inevitably, okay. It also seems like, wouldn't you... I feel like you just stop playing this game. Like, halfway through the first turn, you would just stop playing this game and just have sex. Right? Also, what happens if you get, like, a one-pump chump and you're supposed to be in there for, like, 15 minutes or something? Why is turn-based sex a game you made? It's because there's something wrong with my brain where I try and fix things that suck. And this sucks, so I want to fix it and make it less shit. Yeah, I feel like this game is actually made for no one. I think you might be right. What about you just, like, play... I've never been to a swinger party, but someone did say something about, like, spin the bottle a minute ago. What if, like, you do spin the bottle, and they just, instead of kissing, you just fuck. Like, until things just, like, you know, get going on their own. You know, icebreaker. Imagine or asking your partner to play this. You know? Yeah. That's fucking awful.
any activities until it is their turn or what these people are going for.
It's for swingers who are too shy or boring to make decisions on their own. I think that, like, yeah, I think that it'd be for, like, people who are not, like, they haven't done a swingers thing yet, but they need, like, an entryway into it. And it's just, like, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do at a swing, like, a key party or something. Everyone just, like, walks into the room and they're just, like, I don't know. I don't... How would that even... I don't know how you get that going. Swinging for beginners. Like, I actually don't know how swinger parties are set up. Like, you show up and then you're just like, hey, everybody. I'm here now. I'm gonna, like, do you go to the other room to get naked? Like... Or do you just, like, walk into the room and just be like, hey, everybody, I'm here now, pantsed. Like... Sex Dice is a better and simpler game. I mean, it can come up with some stupid options, but, like, yeah.
If it is, though, buddy, you are
Lick
$40
eyes.
plus shipping away from heaven. Get moving. Our final takeaway from this thing is to keep in mind that the amount of people that have caught an STD due to playing a board game is most certainly greater than 0. So thanks a lot, you trailblazer.
I can't actually believe anyone would buy this, because it is a very specific audience.
Other titles were also released under the Diplomat banner. Let's look at the other release from 1969 as Diplomat unveils their new take on a timeless classic, Strip-Tac-Toe. Does anybody else feel underwhelmed? Yeah, after the absolute behemoth of the last release, a naughty version of Tic-Tac-Toe doesn't quite carry the same punch to the jaw. Some definitive middle child syndrome here. But that doesn't mean it isn't interesting.
I feel like you could probably just... I got the idea. You play Tic-Tac-Toe, if you win, they have to take off clothes. Like, you don't need to buy a... Yeah, Tic-Tac-Toe is, like, one of the worst games for this, because it is, like, actually possible to not lose.
Interesting, because when you see that Diplomat sticker, you know this thing is going to have some serious nonsense garbage going on. The game can be played either 1v1 or with even teams, with the box directly stating that up to 16 people can play total. Players line up on each side and light the candle. Please don't put the candle on the sheet, that is a completely different game called Arson. To play, you remove an article of clothing and place it down to mark a square, then your opponent does the same. Play continues until one player gets 3 in a row, or a draw occurs. Hey, wait a second, they totally ripped off Connect 4. If you win a round, you get to take a bonus card, which will carry 1 bonus action. But the real benefit is that you get to place that bonus card on a square in lieu of one of your articles next round. Clothing cannot be reused once it has been placed down, and once a player has no clothing left to place, they are declared the loser. The player or team with clothes left is the winner and gets to blow out the candle to signify the game's end. Picture painting.
The candle does not need to exist. I feel like you could probably just make this at home.
Time. Someone, somewhere, at some point in time, has gone up to their friends and asked, hey, do you want to play Strip-Tac-Toe with a straight face? And as much as I hate to be mean to the guy, but they are definitely not friends anymore. So, with 2 of our terrible triple covered, let's head now to the youngest of the 3, being developed in 1970.
Just the candle seems like an unnecessary liability. You have a lot of cloth being taken off in the general vicinity of a candle that might get ignored or forgotten about due to the cloth being thrown around and the lack thereof on anyone nearby, right? So it's like...
Diplomat vanished off the face of the earth. Our final game is another original creation by the player's choice, Bumps and Grimes. This title more than lives up to the Diplomat name, joining Mr. Bacon's big adventure in the distinguished hall of games that can kill their players.
What?
now looking for new members. But let's not get ahead
Lawn
of
darts,
ourselves.
sure.
Quick look
I
at the
need
board
to
will
look into
tell us
that
what
bacon
we're dealing
one.
with here.
Also, it looks like we're getting an ad. 1 minute ad. Be shorter. It's not gonna work. Ads are disabled for... Okay, cool. We got 1 minute of ads. 1 sec. I'm gonna see if I can find the Mr. Bacon thing while... Yeah, I don't know if we need much more description on that one. Lie, cheat, and steal. That sounds kind of neat. Bacon. Oy vey gets worse. I love this channel is cool. This is, yeah, okay, so if you're wondering what to submit things that make me start watching everything else on their channel rather than the playlist. Those are good videos.
And I swear it's not Monopoly. Bumps and Grinds is much simpler as players maneuver their way around the board while attempting to lose all of their clothing in the process. Yes, I said there. Contrary to the last game, the winner of Bumps and Grinds is the person who loses all of their clothing first, which opens up a whole new level of strategy for anybody looking to win at Bumps and Grinds. You move around the board by rolling the dice and advancing to different spaces, each carrying their own effects. These can range from free spaces to making a certain player strip to moving around the board, or the most interesting option of drawing a card. There are 2 decks possible to draw from, and the cards carry a diverse pool of effects like expected options of forcing other players to drink or lose articles, sending you to the bar, the jail equivalent here, and covering up safe spaces, or more wacky options like tell a joke, do a no, and the false modesty card, which can be used in
Do a no-no?
in place of removing an article, an action, may I remind you, that will negatively impact your chances of winning the game. All in all, yes, some goober activity, but nothing quite the level of adultery. At least that would be the case if not for one component that I have specifically left out.
The candle that's in the middle of the table?
The candle.
Yeah.
See, just like in Strip-Tac-Toe, the winner of the game gets to blow out the candle at the end, but this candle is special in 2 major ways that honestly make it one of the worst game components of all time. See, the rules specifically state that the game can only be played by candlelight, and with the candle this small, I highly doubt that you are going to be illuminating this board well enough for everyone to see clearly from all sides. In fact, this rule is so stupid, the 2 people on the front of the box aren't even obeying it, because just behind this sensor bar, you can very clearly see an active fireplace raging. The only way this candle is lighting up anything is if you put it right on the board, a detail that people who have been paying attention to the board will know as they specifically highlight a place where the candle must rest.
Right.
Now, let me remind you what this candle looks like. A straight up stick with no restraints placed on this dinky little dish. So your open flame, which is...
I mean, you could just get a different candle. This is a stupid idea.
Only source of light is resting only on its wax structural integrity on top of a highly flammable board, on top of highly flammable carpet, next to highly flammable clothes, which are spread out everywhere. Brother, this thing is going to burn your house down. Membership accepted. The only other noteworthy part of this one is that many copies actually appear to be made by a company called Topco and not Diplomat. So what gives?
What?
Well, it appears that the
I
Diplomat
bet they just changed
Salesco
names.
wanted to distance themselves from the whole adultery thing, so they decided to switch
Really?
up their branding and become Topco instead. I am confident that these two are the same.
I mean,
due
the
to fact
design
that during their swap,
logo.
Topco used not only the same font, but the same background for their logo. In addition
Yeah.
to that, there are copies of this game in the wild with the original Diplomat logo on it, so I'd say it's pretty safe to assume what happened here. Nevertheless, the Diplomat trio reigns supreme, and I've taken notes from our prestigious middle child here for my own board game build. Just add a naughty theme to a beloved game and watch the money pour in. That's why I've begun development on Strip the Campaign for North Africa, guaranteed to set the mood in as little as 15 years. Signing off for Fire Hazards, I am Cam Sandwich. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day.
Wow.
A special thank you to all my patrons over at the deli. If you
I mean, that could be cool. I feel like I want to watch this one because I want to understand how it could be dangerous.
How's it going, class?
I want someone to
Welcome
die.
back to I-124. Today
That
we'll
looks fucking heinous.
looking into the strange world of Mr. Bacon's Big Adventure. So let's get into it. To start, we'll cover what the game is. What we're looking at here is basically a meat-based version of Candyland, with the different spaces and locations based on the theme as you attempt to be the first slice of bacon to off yourself by jumping into the frying pan.
Okay.
These locations include your classic tourist destinations like the Bologna Forest, the Mustard Marsh, the Meatball Meadow, the Wiener Wasteland, the Hot Dog Hideout, and the Sausage...
The Wiener Wasteland. Wiener Wasteland. What if you were stuck in an apocalyptic situation where it's just like nothing for miles? Nothing but the ground being made out of cock. For miles. Every direction, just flesh. Flesh on the floor, reaching up to the sky, and mountains of flesh and dick. And the sky. Pure blue over a sea of cock.
As well as a couple of other surprises here and
I
there.
love that.
So, now that we know what we're dealing with,
Scorn.
you play this bad boy. When your turn is up, you get to spin the spinner, and you go wherever the spinner points to, either moving to one of these 4 meat
Olive Loaf needs to be destroyed. That is the worst thing I've seen.
spaces available, or drawing a specialty card. Other events that can happen are landing on a meatball, which allows you to draw a card, sliding down a bacon slide to move a little further, becoming trapped within the Gristle Grotto, or moving to Vegan Alley, one of the worst fates known to man. To show you why, let's take a look at it. Vegan Alley itself is a horrible place where all of the meat has been replaced with healthier vegan options, such as the beef jerky now becoming veggie burger, the olive loaf becoming tofu, the pepperoni now transformed into carrots, and worst of all, the corn dogs being transformed into vegan cornbread. In addition to these crimes,
What?
Vegan Alley leads any player that travels through it right back to the start of the board.
Jesus.
Snazzy players can actually use an advanced maneuver to reverse their way through the Vegan Alley and out the other side. Along the way, you may come into contact with some of these specialty cards. While most of the cards available to draw are the standard move this many spaces or go to this space card, there are some cards in this game that are completely unbalanced. Go swimming in the Sausage Sea. The Sausage Sea is a space that is located 12 spaces from the end of the board.
This is literally
Move
just
forward
Candyland.
or backward to the nearest bacon slide. There are only 2 of these on the board. Briefly consider veganism. Go to Vegan Alley. At any point on the board, you are now going right back to the start of the game. Move any player to the Mustard Marsh. This is the second location on the map. The next player you pass must go back to start. Keep until you.
Wow!
And finally, just switch places with any player. At all. But now that you know what the regular
that's
game
literally
has
just
in store,
Candyland.
let me introduce you to the real way to play this game. The Meat Feast. An alternative game mode that comes with the game, the Meat Feast is described as not recommended by cardiologists. The Meat Feast only requires a little setup, as to play this mode, you need to have the following foodstuffs. Pepperoni slices,
Yeah, of course.
beef jerky, sliced olive loaf, sliced bologna, sliced ham, pepperoni sticks, corn dogs, mustard, bacon slices, meatballs, hot dogs, Vienna sausages, little smokies, regular sausages, gravy, tofu, veggie burgers, carrots, and vegan cornbread. Simple. Now that you've gotten everything together, it's time to Meat Feast. Every time you land on a space, you have to eat a little bit of the meat type that is on that space. These same rules also apply to Vegan Alley, where you have to eat the meat replacements located there as the game takes action to make sure you are punished by having to eat healthy vegan food. If that large amount of meat wasn't already enough, each specialty space on the board also comes with its own
Wait, how the fuck do you
specialty
wait?
meat to eat.
How do you make vegan cornbread? What the fuck is... Flour, cornmeal, sugar, baking powder, salt, milk, oil, egg. Okay, so you would replace the milk and egg. Okay, so... Okay.
These include the following. Traveling through a bacon slide nets you a slice of fried bacon. Ending up in the bologna forest gets you a slice of bologna wrapped in a pepperoni stick. Wading through the mustard marsh will net you a corn dog slathered in mustard. Traveling through the meatball meadows means you have to eat a meatball shish kebab with a pepperoni stick as the skewer. The Wiener Wasteland, of course, nets you a hot dog that is wrapped in a slice of ham. Landing on the vegan alley space itself gets you a jiggly cube of tofu topped with shredded carrots. The hot dog hideout demands you eat a hot dog, a Vienna sausage, and a pepperoni stick all at the same time. Traveling through the sausage sea...
How many sticks of meat can you shove in your mouth at once? Yeah, this is like feeding fetish, question mark?
Nets you a sausage that is slathered in gravy. And
this is a mechanic that someone just didn't think of.
You have to eat a meatball that has been wrapped in olive loaf and dipped in gravy. With all of these yummy options available, Mr. Bacon's Big Adventure guarantees that there is no better way to cause significant health issues for your entire family. Thank you all for attending, and always remember, kids, cheaters never win, and winners prefer meat. A reminder that this is an attendance-based course, so be sure to tune into the next lecture and keep studying up on the previous material to prepare for the upcoming test. How's it going, dudes? In my quest to become president of these United States, I realized that I don't actually have any experience in maneuvering the political landscape. Luckily for me, a suggestion from the fans guided me to exactly what I need to save my political career. Lie, Cheat, and Steal, the game of political power.
That could be cool.
This 1971 game aims to showcase the true political methods like vote buying, libel, and under-the-table deals. To showcase the full game, I'll run through the rule sheet linked in the description and showcase the board throughout. So the aim of the game is to get a specific amount of votes to win, and you can gain these naturally or by using underhanded methods like buying or stealing them from other players. At the start of the game, each player begins with $50,000, and a salary of $20,000 that you collect when you pass start. The game moves like Monopoly. Roll 2 dice, land on a space, follow instructions, the whole shebang. But the difference is the spaces that you land on. Each space does something a little different, like granting you money, allowing you to buy votes, getting some welfare, and many other things. The best thing to acquire from the board are the cards that are scattered about, of which there are 3 types: money, black eye, and feather in your cap. The feather in your cap cards are the simplest of the bunch, having 3 options for cards from reducing a vote cost, defending from a black eye card attacked, or moving any player to the witness stand area. The other 2 card types are a little more complex because they take advantage of the game's central mechanic: lying. When drawing a cash card, it will randomly have you either gain or pay up to $100,000, but you are allowed to lie about what your card says to get a better result. The problem with this is that you have to keep the card until you pass start again, and if somebody lands on the press box, they can accuse you of fraud. If they are right and you lied,
that's
you
actually
have to
cool.
Pay out the difference between the actual amount and your lie, while the accuser wins 50 votes. If they were wrong, honest mistake, nothing happens. The craziest options are the black eye cards. Black eye cards are used to attack other players' credibility and have 5 types with text on them and 1 that is blank. If you land on the press box, you can accuse another player of a crime by using your card. Each black eye card can only be stopped by the right defense card, and I'll show the combos here. Accused of attending a pot party, you're simply an undercover narcotics agent. They say you deserted from the army? I found my honorable discharge papers here. Accused of embezzling, my bank books got forged, it wasn't me. You have a non-payment of 50 traffic violations. All computers are unreliable. We have you for escaping from a chain gang. Oh, that was my twin brother who escaped. You may have noticed that the blank card is missing, and that's because the blank card doesn't do anything. Unless you lie. The blank card can be any accusation you want, but carries the downside that if a person thinks the card
The
is blank,
characters look like
they
shit.
can
I mean, the
sue you
drawings
for
are not
libel.
great, but I mean,
If
it's
somebody
not his
loses
thing.
a lawsuit, it is likely that they can't pay it, so penalties are in place to punish those who dare to be poor. A vote penalty takes place when you owe more votes than you have, and are forced to buy votes at $1,000 each for the first 20, and $2,000 each for every vote after. If you don't have enough money to cover a cost, you can sell your votes to anyone willing to buy to raise funds.
This sounds like
Otherwise, you must declare
better
bankruptcy.
Monopoly plus coup.
Bankruptcy takes away all your money, votes, and cards, reverts your salary to the starting amount, and throws you in jail. Going to jail means you lose your next turn and enter back through the starting area.
Some of these are older videos. Sure, sure. I mean, I'm interested in it. I don't know as if anyone else is, but I like board games.
A particularly nasty area you can get sent to that can end up getting you removed from office, impeached, fined for contempt of court, or worst of all, attending the League of Women Voters luncheon. The last two spots on the board are Enter Business and Enter Politics, both of which need to be landed on or have your rich uncle die to get into. Enter Business can lose you money, like investing in a losing stock or an antitrust suit putting you down, or it could gain you money by striking oil or becoming the president of GM. Hey, GM's on the come up, guys. We've got some good years ahead of— oh no! Enter Politics can gain or lose you both money and votes, with spaces like win state legislator, lose Senate bid.
That'd be like
elected
Amazon
governor,
nowadays or
blackmail
something.
governor, and every politician's dream of being bribed by oil companies. And that is how you lie, cheat, and steal. I'm a big fan of games that incorporate lying into the rules, so I'm curious what you guys think of this style of game. As mentioned before, the scans are below for your reading pleasure. And now that we're done, I'm going to take what we've learned and begin my rise to the top. So if you liked the video, go ahead.
I like it. That's a cool idea for a game. Let's no, not that. Okay, next video.
And that's why the bread is usually stale. Jonathan, are you with me? This is all going to be on the quiz next week, so I hope you're writing this. Jonathan, who do you have? Is that Ethan? Jonathan? Drop him. Drop him. Jonathan. Thank you. What do we say, class, when we're hungry and bored? Do not eat each other. That's right. That's right.
Animation was good. Oh, this is perfect.
Have you ever wondered about this particular thing? Because it turns out that that thing is real. That thing I referred to earlier? Well, it's happening, and it will destroy us all. Someone has to stop this thing. And that someone is you.
You didn't think it would be that easy, did you?
Wow, this is so perfect.
I don't think I'm the one. I'm not the person who can stop this thing.
You are that person. Now take my hand!
For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I am the reaction.
Wow. Wow, that is so fucking good. Cause yeah, 99% of fucking movies are this shit. Holy hell. "7 years ago." And it's so right, though. Oh. This is the most dadcore shit I've seen in a while. Where it's just like, yeah, I'll just go get the sander. It ain't that fucked.
Now you'd best open your ear so you may hear me. Should you choose to stray from our designated path, I will juice your eyeballs dry so
Okay.
that in the darkness that consumes the rest of your life, you will be forced to reckon with the guilt you felt when you saw just how disappointed I was in you.
What the fuck is this? You have a minute 30 to make sense or me care.
Right now.
Yeah.
Tonight we're
I don't care.
having taco tater tot casserole. This is it. In a massive skillet.
Yeah.
You are going to place a pound of ground beef.
Yeah.
Mine is in a bag. Brown up your beef. Chop it up aggressively. My ground beef is...
Why is she saying this entire thing like she's asking me to get out of her way in the grocery store or something? Like, why is she being so pissy about it? Like, why is she mad at me?
quite lean, so I am not draining it.
Resting Karen voice?
I don't know, I must have bought very lean meat this time.
Motherfucking lean meat.
So add a metric ton of garlic. 2 metric tons. And to those of you who look at this and say, that's so much garlic, yes and no. Minced garlic in the jar is much, much milder. Add in some onion powder, and don't be like me. Don't ever season over a hot pan. It will cause you to get some condensation inside of your jar from the moisture, and it will...
Oh, okay.
give your spices a clumping effect.
I didn't know that. That is actually good information.
Be better than me. Into our ground
Yeah,
beef, you're going to
pretty
add the
good
equivalent
info.
of 1 packet of...
I think I hear my wife outside. I'll look outside real quick, just to make sure. Hello? Hello? Guess not. Oh, you're downstairs. Hi! Still alive. I'll finish up this video, then I'll be down. I love you! Wife home safely.
taco seasoning. I eyeball this.
I mean, it's not...
Looks good. A cup of salsa. Half of a small jar. I'm going to add a half a cup of water. That's for your taco seasoning. Add in 1 can of black beans. Drained and rinsed. I have decided it needs the rest of the jar of salsa.
Okay, what are these instructions?
A bag of corn. It's frozen. It's fine. To this, I am going to add a good handful of cheese. Probably a cup.
Probably.
That much.
Is this like Tex-Mex? This is in the same area code as Tex-Mex.
I am now going to top this mixture with a bag of tater tots. Frozen. It's important that they're arranged into a design. Don't just dump them on.
Why is she so fucking hostile?
That is chaotic and crazy. It takes an entire bag of tater tots to do this. A 2-pound bag. Pop this into a 350-degree oven until the top is a little bit crispy and a little bit brown. Then we are going to add cheese to the top. It's been about 20 minutes. To top my casserole with some cheese. Why? Because I live in the Midwest. Looks great. Let's pop it back in the oven until the cheese is golden brown and bubbly. Here it is. This is dinner. This is one of the only ways that my husband will eat tater tots, which I realize is a weird problem to have, but
that's not a problem.
Let's try it because I know what you're thinking. Is it even good?
I mean, yeah, probably, actually.
Of course it's good. I made it. This is delicious. Make this. Follow along for more process tutorials.
Of course it's good. I made this. Eat this. Wonderful energy. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, and yeah, like as far as my American palate goes, I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Let's check and see if there's anything on RevFart. Nothing on the internets. And then we've got Rev's Funhouse. Nothing in RevFart. There were choices made here, man. Let me check and see if anyone's live. Keep an eye out for scams nowadays. There's a lot of like, you know, there's going to be people trying to do support stuff for people in Florida. And if you want to be involved, that's awesome. But make sure you're, you know, checking who these, you know, places you're donating to are. Make sure the money actually gets there. Because, yeah, they're probably actually going to need some help, you know? Anyway. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Oh, and we'll raid someone. I don't know who yet. Give me a minute.